Not the end of the celebration, this is only the beginning of the celebration. Well, speakers will give about Gita. So let's go back and cherish what Gita has to offer. Is it relevant in the modern world? Is it relevant in the modern world problems? Does it talk about it or not? Or is it only relevant from thousands of years back? So that's going to be a wisdom, and that's an eye-opener session which we are going to get from our
peace, calm.
So I'll combine all three. Why Bhagavad Gita with respect to Western countries and youth? Because Bhagavad Gita is a universal divine constitution. And so it applies across every country, every age, everywhere.
And I would love to include how to live and how to lead. This is the real constitution in Bhagavad Gita consisted.
Yeah, we have 15 minutes, so you can elaborate on things if you want to. Otherwise, I'll ask some questions which will put you on spot. Ask questions. Okay. Racism is a big thing, right? So tell me how Bhagavad Gita helps the youth in defending against racism. Anybody wants to take? And you should have a philosophical answer, not just any made-up stuff.
In Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, verse 13, Dehino asminyata dehe kamanam yoganam jara tata vihantara praptir dhiras tatra namuriti. It says, like the first lesson of Bhagavad Gita, I generally ask this question. What's the first lesson of Bhagavad Gita? Who can say? It can be one of the children, one of the adults. First lesson of Bhagavad Gita. Because in the beginning, Krishna's not giving any instruction. Arjuna is giving his excuses.
Anybody from the audience?
First lesson of
Quickly. If not, I'm going to answer.
No, you can't answer because you already know.
Trying to run away from trying to escape or run away.
Thank you for being honest. It's a very good point. Anyone else? Yes.
Do your job and don't expect anything in return.
Very good point. Let me cut to the chase. We're not the material body. Kamanam, yoganam, jara. Childhood, youth, old age. The sober person is not disturbed. Why? Because the soul is passing in the body. So my point here is that if I look at you and see your age, or see one of the kids, and I say, that's you for right now, that physical body. But the spirit is eternal. It's beyond the body. So if we stop looking at each other, I'm African American, Gujarati, whatever. We start with what? Namaste. What does namaste mean?
The divinity in me goes to the dignity in you.
Yeah, so the inside of this body. So we teach our children that don't look at the person's body. Respect their personality, what they're giving, what they offer, because they're spirit. Simple point. We are all spirit. And the spirit is the same, equal in quality. We're just covered by the material body.
Thank you very much. That's the real answer, because we are not the body, and also we believe in karma, reincarnation. So basically you could be white in one life, black in others, dog, cat. So our dharma teaches that you cannot be racist. It's not possible. If anybody is racist or a casteist, he's foolish. Anyway, thank you. You want to elaborate? Yes.
Yeah. आज के युग में मैं अपना पार्ट हिंदी में बोलना पसंद करूंगी, क्योंकि जितना मैं अपनी भाषा में उसको, मेरे पास बहुत समृद्ध भाषा है, तो मैं उसका प्रयोग क्यों ना करूं। तो मेरा ये आज जीवन में जो भौतिकता की प्रधानता होने के कारण जो अवसाद सबके हृदयों में, जिसकी मानसिकता में घेर लिया है, जिसकी विषाद, जैसे अर्जुन विषाद का हुआ था, ऐसे आज सब विषाद में घिरे हुए हैं। तो गीता ये कहती है कि आत्मज्ञान होने से संसार स्वयं छूट जाता है, और संसार छोड़ने से आत्मज्ञान नहीं होता। तो पूरी भगवत गीता में कहीं भी संसार छोड़ने की बात नहीं की गई। अपने को परिस्थितियां जैसी भी हों, लेकिन मन स्थिति को प्रबल करने का ज्ञान भगवत गीता में है। इसलिए कर्म से जो उन्होंने प्रधान दिया, जैसा मैंने वाक्य अभी कहा था कि तुम हर समय परिणाम की इच्छा करते हो, इसीलिए व्यथित रहते हो। और गीता हमें इच्छा का परिणाम बताती है, इसीलिए प्रधान रूप से निष्काम कर्मयोग बताया गया। तो उपनिषद में भी कुर्वन्नेह कर्माणि जीविषेचत्तगुण समा एवं तैनानते तो अस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे, वहां भी यही है। तो गीता के दूसरे अध्याय में भी निष्काम कर्मयोग के लिए कहा गया है। तो ज्ञान, योग, अध्यात्म, अंतस का जागरण तुम्हें हर विषाद से, हर परेशानी से और जीवन में रहने का हाउ टू लिव एंड हाउ टू लीव। अग्नेनय सुपथाराय स्मान विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान युयो दस्वत जूराण मेनो भूयिष्ठान ते नम उत्तिम विधेमा। सीधा उसी को गीता में माँ बेकम शरणम व्रज कह देते हैं। आ जा मेरे पास, तेरी कुशल क्षेम के उत्तरदायित्व तो मेरे पास है। धन्यवाद।
Want to add something?
So I'll give a little bit more of a practical, not as highly philosophical, very practical answer to this question. There are so many forms of prejudice, not only racial prejudice, religious prejudice, in all different ways we face this. One of our Sant Mahatmas was once asked by a Caucasian person that, I wish I was Indian also. I want to convert to your philosophy because your philosophy is so wonderful. Can I convert? Can I become Hindu? And his answer was no. Because in order to convert, you need to become something that you were not before. And in our vision of Sanatana Dharma, everyone is a Hindu. Everyone has the same core. Sanatana Dharma, which is the real name for our religion. We are not Hindus. I hope everyone here is clear on that. We follow the philosophy of Sanatana Dharma, eternal righteousness. And so any being, regardless of race, religion, any background, we are all searching for our way back home, our way to goodness and purity. And that Sanatana Dharma, that eternal Dharma, that eternal search for righteousness and goodness is at the core of every single being, regardless of race, creed, religion. And so if we can understand that even on a practical level, that even these wars of racism or religious prejudices are just people who have misunderstood their own selves. And they are at war with their own selves. And if we see them as one of us through that vision of compassion, we can change them. An eye for an eye and the whole world will be blind. But if we choose to see past what they can't, then we can convert them into the religion, the vision that they were, that at their foundation they are at. Because we are all searching for that same substratum actually. This is the universal vision of Sanatana Dharma.
Thank you very much, and I hope all the youth will take this advice from all of them. Before we go to the next point, I just want you to meditate on the life-changing event in your life. Life-changing event. Life-changing. You have 30 seconds before I ask a quiz question. Okay, I have many, but a short question for the young youth. Krishna is addressed as Bhagwan in Gita, right? So what does Bhagwan mean? So I'll give you a clue. There are 6 aspects. Of course, God has unlimited aspects, but 6 aspects have been mentioned. Can you mention those 6 aspects? Why a Bhagwan? When you say Bhagwan, anybody can go. Okay, go ahead, please.
Anadi, Ananta, Sarvasakshi, Sarvashaktiman.
Okay, so English. I got it. So basically, I think you mentioned almost 3 or 4. One is all knowledgeable. Bhagwan is all knowledgeable, all powerful.
Why did you put me after these kids? Oh my God. They were very wonderful. And also our 2 esteemed speakers. Mataji was speaking in Hindi, correct?
You're right.
Yes.
It reminded me of being in India in 1976 with my Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada. And we went from Delhi to Modinagar and Aligarh and Vrindavan.
Wow.
But in Modinagar, he didn't speak in English. He spoke in Hindi. So I had to listen to my Guru for 3 days in Hindi, not knowing what he said. A few words came out. But in actuality, Bhagavad Gita, I posed this question earlier today. What is the great gift, or the greatest gift that India has to offer? As Mataji mentioned, I joined in 1973, but I started in 1972. Coming from Transcendental Meditation with Maharishi Mahesh Yogi, I studied under him. But I was looking for a higher truth. And then when I came in contact with Bhagavad Gita, I went, oh my God, here it is. Growing up as a Christian in Atlanta, I had no concept of who God was, only what the Bible is saying about Jesus. And it doesn't say he's God, but that concept is there. So I was thinking, with this culture that we have, and I say we because I've been doing it 52 years, so it's my culture as well. Okay? So what is our greatest gift? In the Western society, they try to relegate us to IT. Oh, Indians are good for IT. And we somehow morph into that a little bit, thinking that's an acceptable transition. But in reality, we have something greater. There's a small story that explains this. One great Acharya in Vrindavan, Sanatana Goswami, was approached by a man, young or old, didn't matter. And he was saying, Swamiji, what is the greatest gift you can give me? And Swamiji said, go in the garbage, I put it there. So the guy, okay, fine. So he went to the garbage, and what he found was Chintamani stone. Chintamani prakara sadmasu kopraviksha. So the Chintamani stone he found there, which is very valuable. If you take the Chintamani stone, you touch this telephone, it turns to gold. So the man was happy. He found the stone, he's touching everything, turning to gold. He's so happy with that. Then he thought, wait a minute. Swamiji said it's the most valuable thing. This cannot be the most valuable thing. He must have something greater. So he went back to Swamiji. He said, you said this is the most valuable thing. Why did you keep it in the garbage? He said, I have something more valuable. The guy was thinking, okay, what's more valuable? He said, you sit down here, I'll explain to you. So he sat him down, he said, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. That is the most valuable thing. And you can imagine this man thinking, sure, okay, fine. But he accepted it. So when I asked this question, what is the most valuable thing that our culture can offer the world right now? I'm not going to put anyone on the spot. But Rameshji, he ordered us to think about the practical application of Bhagavad Gita. My life is an example of that, honestly speaking. From where I came from prior to joining this movement, I was just an entertainer looking for a career in music, all the nightclubs in Atlanta going here and there. But something happened traumatic. My mother died, my father died, and my brother died within 2 years. So I was shocked. Simultaneously, I'm thinking, is there something greater in life? So coming in contact with the Bhagavad Gita actually saved my life. And since that time, I've been working with Bhagavad Gita. And I mentioned the other day, and someone said, I didn't know that about you, Bhagavad. I've been arrested at least 4 times distributing Bhagavad Gita. In Atlanta and where's Alabama, just for representing your culture, which I say is my culture. So the practical application of Bhagavad Gita stems from my own personal life. So I translated that into, what can I do? They say, pay it forward. How can I pay it forward? I've done many different programs in Atlanta. One significant one was taking Bhagavad Gita to gang members in my hometown. Gang members. 17 young men who were stuck in a gang. I didn't say Bhagavad Gita. I said, 3rd chapter, verse 21, beginning line, Yat Yat Acharati Shrestha. Whatever a great man does, common men follow. So the most important thing that we can do with this great gift of Bhagavad Gita is to live it. Show how it works. For instance, this Bhagavad Gita right here, from my Guru Maharaj, take a guess how many have been distributed. Any guess? Give me some guess. I'll help you. 500 million.
Wow.
500 million. That's something very important. So as I said, I've gone to jail for distributing this book. One time in particular in Decatur, Alabama, it was on Christmas Eve, and they put me in the jail. I said, fine. I said, Mr. Policeman, can I keep my book? Can I keep my Bhagavad Gita? He said, okay, boy, take it. And I made a vow that day. I will read this book until I get out or don't get out. I don't care. I'm committing myself to this. My life is this. So that example helped a lot of other persons. It inspires me. I also gave Bhagavad Gita to Coretta Scott King, the wife of Dr. Martin Luther King. She was very happy to receive it. So we have to make a practical effort if we believe that this is the most valuable gift, not the touchstone in the garbage. Bhagavad Gita can, as Mataji explained so beautifully, I was listening to your voice almost like a parrot, like Sukadeva Goswami. It was sweet. So this knowledge is real. I explained this morning that we have the Bible, we have the Quran, the Jewish people have the Torah, we have Bhagavad Gita. But the difference is they have rallied around one particular book. And therefore they've made impressions all over the world. I think part of our problem is that we know we have the Vedas. Yag, Riga, Tarva, Satyali. So many Vedas. But the author of the Vedas is Srila Vyasadeva. He compiled the Vedic literature, including Mahabharata. But he was unhappy after completing all of that. What happened? His Guru Maharaj, Narada Muni, came to him and said, my dear Prabhu, why are you so despondent? He didn't wait for the answer. He said, because you failed to point directly to the bhakti, to the devotional service. You send people to karma and jnana, and that will not satisfy the soul. Bhakti, devotion to the Lord, satisfies the soul. So the material society, why are they unhappy? Because they're forgetting about the Supreme Lord. Our Bhagavad Gita is so special. I want to finish with something, and I don't have a great memory, so I wrote it down. It's from Sankaracharya. Gita Mahatmya. This is number 7. You probably know it. Ekam Shastram Devaki Putra Gitam. Eko Devo Devaki Putra Eva. Eko Mantras Tasya Namani Yani. Kamanyakam Tasya Devasya Seva. In this present day, people are very much eager to have one scripture, one God, one religion, and one occupation. Therefore, Ekam Shastram Devaki Putram Gitam. Let there be one scripture only, one common scripture for the whole world, which is
Bhagavad Gita.
Why did we come today?
Bhagavad Gita.
But we're afraid to say it. Because we think, oh, my Christian friends will be unhappy, my Muslim friends will be unhappy. They say it, why not us?
Yeah.
That we believe in Bhagavad Gita. Then it continues, Bhagavad Gita, Eko Devaka, Devaki Putra Eva, let there be one God for the whole world, Sri Krishna, Eko Mantras Tasya Namami, and one hymn, one mantra, one prayer, the chanting of his name, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
Indriyagramam sarvatra samabuddhayah te prapnuvanti mameva sarvabhuta hite